Alright, so a little background for this video. I made a everything you need to know about Duet Night Abyss 60-second short when I came across some information on Reddit. Then they started releasing some more information in the form of Luno's Adventure Note, and I also made a video on the first Combat Basics Luno Adventure Note. I'm going to go ahead and recap everything I have already posted, and then we're going to get into the new information. So to start off with the Reddit post I had, it details that it's going to be a third-person action RPG launching on October 28th. It's going to be on PC, iOS, and Android. The PC platforms that it's going to be on is also it's going to have its own launcher. It's going to be on Steam, and then it's going to be on Epic Games launcher as well. It's going to have a dual protagonist system where it's going to tell the same story from two separate perspectives. You're going to have a bunch of different major factions, no gacha mechanics in the game at all whatsoever, and there's going to be absolutely no stamina system in the game. For the dual protagonist system, you're going to follow the Foxine Hunter and the boy or girl in a dream. There's going to be the covert commission system, which is going to use secret letters as a universal currency. None of the fragments will expire, so all progression materials remain permanent in your inventory. Obviously, as I said before, no stamina in the game. You can play without any time restrictions. Cosmetic only monetization, which is going to be skins, animation, and visual cosmetic. Transparent pricing, meaning cost scale predictively with progression and not randomization. Now next, recapping over Luno's Adventure Notes 1, Combat Basics. You have HP and shield. Your lifeline in battle, attacks drain your white shield bar first. Once the shield is depleted, damage affects your HP. Shields regenerate after a period without taking damage. Strategic positioning against foes is key. And then there's the image of the HP and shield bar right there. For your revive, this is what it's going to look like. Running out of HP doesn't mean defeat. You can revive and return to battle. Reviving grants brief invincibility. Reviving characters is limited, so fight carefully. Next, you have sanity and skills. A vital combat source. Casting skills consume sanity. Sanity regenerates slowly over time or quickly by collecting Dal Volatile dropped in combat. Most skills have no cooldown, so you can cast repeatedly as long as you have enough sanity. That's going to kind of be like your energy regen. As long as you have enough energy in the bank, you'll be able to cast a skill, and then each of your different skills are going to vary in cost depending on the character and what type of skill it is. You also have a dodge mechanic here. You can use dodge to evade traps and powerful enemy attacks. Dodge has limited uses but can stack. Time it wisely to minimize damage taken. Next is going to be sprint. You can travel fast across the continent. Hold the movement key and long press dodge to enter sprint mode. Once activated, you can release dodge and maintain sprint. Now, since I don't know what is in the next Luno Adventure Notes coming up, I don't know if they go over the exploration in this game, but that's one thing that I was a little confused about. So exploration in this game is not going to be this big open world like, for example, Wuwa or Genshin. It's going to be more akin to HSR, where it's going to be like instance areas that you will be able to, fully explore and all that stuff. So it's not going to be this big interconnected open world. Instead, you're going to have multiple different like drop zones where you drop in and you have this area to explore. Once you do that, complete the story, then you move on to the next area, so on and so forth. Next, you have the Helix Leap. You can perform a long distance aerial movement with the Helix Leap to reposition quickly, mastering this technique to traverse terrain effortlessly during exploration or combat. Then we're going to have grapple and grapple points. Grapple points are scattered across the map, left by passive adventurers to travel swiftly between cities and wilderness. Aim at grapple point and press the interaction key. So much like we see in Wuwa, you have the grapple points. It shows up, it highlights once you're near it. You press a key, you grapple to it. Nice and simple. Next, you have the stance bar. The boss enemies have a stance bar. Each hit weakens their stance. Weakening the stance to a certain extent causes hit stun. Completely weakening the stance temporarily incapacitates the boss enemy. So there on the bar, as you can see, there's different checkpoints within the stun bar, which will cause a hit stun. And then once you completely deplete that bar, they will be incapacitated to take extra damage, which is also what is detailed up here for Ask's Retribution. Bosses being stunned enter a vulnerable state, creating an opportunity for heavy damage. Additionally, approach an incapacitated boss and press the interaction key to perform Ask's Retribution, dealing massive damage. So that's what it looks like. You press the interaction key, you're going to do like a special move, do a lot of damage to the enemy. Coming up next for Divide and Destroy. Some bosses have destructible parts, each with independent HP. Destroying all parts also temporarily incapacitates the boss. So instead of having separate stun bars per thing, you have to go ahead and deplete the HP for all the separate pieces, and then that will stun the enemy. That's going to be it for the Combat Basics 1. Moving into Combat Basics 2, here you have Trial EXP. So becoming an exceptional Fox Hunter requires both wisdom and combat experience. Gain Trial XP through various message, most commonly by upgrading characters, Genimons and Demon Wedges. Hopefully I definitely butchered that. But here's an image there. Again, like with a lot of these things, I haven't really pointed out. I don't know what that is. I don't know the translations for these things. Next, you have resonance buffs. So reaching a certain trial level milestones unlocks rewards like secret letters and sources for characters, weapons, and additionally, resonance grants buffs. Resonance grants stat buffs, shield, defense, HP, and attack. So this is what that's going to look like. Up next, you have elemental effects. So every Charon possesses unique elemental attributes. Dealing damage with weapons or skills triggers different effects based on the element. The different elements that we have in this game is going to be Anemo, Hydro, Pyro, Electro, Lumino, and Umbro. Can all stack periodic element damage. Lumino and Umbro has special properties. Lumino stacks periodic damage while refreshing the duration of all elemental bonus effects while reducing the enemy's stance recovery speed. So that sounds amazing. Pay attention to the relationship between different elements. Damaging from advanced elements is largely increased, while damaging from non-advanced elements is significantly reduced. So you are going to have kind of like HSR, where if you're going up against an enemy who is not of the same element, who is of the same element type or an element that goes against you, you're going to do reduced damage to that enemy. They'll have resistances to those other elements. However, if it is an element that goes good into the other one, as you can see here with Electro into water, or Electro into Hydro, Hydro into Pyro, Pyro into Anemo, you'll do increased damage. However, if you try to do Electro into Anemo, you will do reduced damage. Moving into the next thing here, we have weapon systems. So you have melee and range. Fox Hunters can freely choose weapons for combat, equipping one melee and one range weapon simultaneously. Each category offers 6 distinct weapon types. Mix and match freely to create your own unique combat style. Note that each character excels with specific weapon types. Choosing their preferred weapon maximizes their potential. So one thing that isn't covered in these, at least I don't believe so, but I did hear mentioned, was that, and as it says there, different characters are going to have their weapon type that they excel in. That also means that they will be able to do extra moves with it, or things of that nature, maybe even have like some damage bonuses. However, you don't have to use it. You can just simply use whichever weapon category you like that, fits your playstyle. But just do keep in mind that if you don't use the weapon that the character has an affinity for, you won't perform as well. Just keep that in mind. Now for the different melee weapons, here we have 6 different ones, as well as 6 different range weapons. We have the Great Sword, Dual Blades, Ana, Pole Arm Sword, and Whip Sword. Now for the range weapons, we have a bow, grenade launcher, dual pistols, assault rifle, pistol, and shotgun. That is just insane. Thinking about walking around with a shotgun, my waifu, absolutely crazy. Now moving on to the next one, we have damage types and attack patterns. Weapons have 3 damage types, each with unique advantages. Slash deals bonus damage to shielded enemies, Spike excels in high HP enemies, and Smash is highly effective against enemies with high stance. Even within the same weapon type, attack patterns can vary greatly. Offers a vast array of weapons. Further combat insights await your discovery through adventure. So it seems like, as it says there, even within the same weapon type, so let's say for example polearm, the attack patterns can vary, and the attack pattern could be like a slash, a spike, or a smash. So it sounds like, so insane weapon variety. You have 3 different categories, even within the you have 3 subcategories, even within the 6 categories of different. So that's going to be it for the combat basics. 2, moving into combat basics. 3, we're going to have the tactical backpack. Proper preparation is essential for adventures. Beyond the trusty Luno, your tactical backpack is an indispensable companion. In addition to consumables for combat, you can equip special emotes to express your personality. Furthermore, carry combat partner sigils in your inventory to summon allies during your journey. This is what it's going to look like. It's much like, the inventory wheels that you have in a lot of different games / gacha games. However, what's different in this one is you do have emotes that you can equip. That's nice to know that there are going to be like different emotes for the characters. Just wait till next summer where you're going to have bikini skins and all the characters twerking with emotes. But it also shows that, yeah, you'll be able to use your food items, your buff items, as well as sigils to summon the allies. There's a note here. It says, if you prefer not to manually summon partners, enable auto summon for combat partners in commission loadout screen. Next, you have partner summoning limits. The number of combat partners you can summon varies based on your party size. During world exploration or solo commissions, you can summon up to 2 combat partners at the same time. In a 2-player party, each player can summon 1 combat partner. With 3 or more players, combat partners cannot be summoned. Rely on your team support to push forward together. So it seems like co-op will be up to 4 players, because as it says, with 3 or more players as well. If you think about it, over here it says in a 2-player party, each player can summon 1 combat partner, so that would be a total of 4 people on the field. For solo, you can only have 3 on the field, you including the 2 summoned combat partners. So that's very interesting. However, the amount of characters on the field within the 2-player party, as well as the wording here with 3 or more players, definitely makes me think that co-op is going to be a 4-person endeavor, which sounds great. So a little disappointing that when you do have those 3 or more players, you won't be able to summon any combat partners. However, that does kind of make sense, because that would be a little too much on the screen. Like if it is 3 or even up to 4, that would be like 6 up to 8 characters on the field at one time, which that might just be a little too much for the game to handle. Maybe there might be special events in the future where they will allow that. However, when playing with those 3 or more players, each person is going to be refined down to a specific role. Next, you're going to have your combat partner weapon setup. To gain your combat partner support in battle, remember to equip them with suitable weapons. Choose weapons that match their combat styles and prepare accordingly before summoning them. So kind of like the same thing. Every character is going to have a specific weapon type that they excel with. It seems here that you can only equip the summons with 1 weapon. Your main character will be equipped with 2, however, but make sure to pay attention, especially for the summons, which weapons the character performs best with and is their like recommended weapon, because I feel like that's going to matter a lot more for the combat partner, whereas not as much for the main character that you're controlling, because obviously that's up to preference. Obviously, if you want to min-max do the most damage, just keep an eye out for what it says their weapon affinity is, and then make sure to put that across the board for all of your characters. Up next, you're going to have city co-op / matchmaking. In this endless voyage through the long night, you are not alone. In bustling city areas, you may encounter other players, express your personality through special outfits, or approach strangers for a moment of respite. During commissions, you can select match to fight alongside fellow fox hunters. So what it seems like is the story and general exploration is going to be solo. However, when you do go into those like specific instance dungeons or things like that, you can select match to go ahead and match you with other players. It's sounding a lot along the lines of like Warframe and Destiny to me, which a lot of people have already called this game anime Warframe, which makes a lot of sense. But like Warframe and Destiny, you have like a central hub area where you can go and teleport to. You're going to have vendors there. You're going to be able to explore a little bit. You're going to be able to pick up commissions and different rewards there, as well as you're going to be able to see a lot of different players there. Now, however many players are actually spawned into these instance areas at a time, who knows? It's not specified here, but I do like that. I do like how there is a central hub that will probably be also decorated for different seasons and different events and things like that. That really excites me. This is going to be one of the most social gacha games that we have had to date. I also like how you can go ahead and match for the different instance dungeons or whatever that may be. That's going to be it for the combat basics. Next, we're going to move on to the advanced gameplay here. Now, starting off, you're going to have about demon wedges, wedge-shaped devices developed by the Hyperborean Spathatio to amplify magical power. They can enhance characters as well as melee and ranged weapons. Equipping different demon wedges grants various attribute and trait buffs. Weapon demon wedges can even alter the weapon's original attack patterns. More remarkably, applications of demon wedges await your personal discovery. So that's very interesting here. Here it shows the same weapon, however, with a different demon wedge, I guess, and it changes the attack pattern. So going back into the 3 different attack patterns that we were talking about earlier, maybe this is a way to change it from your base attack pattern. Very interesting. Seems like little character and weapon upgrades. Next is going to be how you acquire the demon wedges. Now, there are various ways to acquire them. You can forge them at the Luno Smith or exchange for them at the bustling marketplace, but the primary method is completing Nachtjager manual challenges. There's going to be different challenges, as you can see here on screen, which will give you, different rewards and demon wedges, I guess. Again, I don't know the translations here. I'm sorry. Maybe I can do just another video clarifying a lot of these translations, because I honestly have no idea what's going on in some of these images here. Coming up next, you have demon wedge tolerance. Despite years of refinement, individual compatibility with demon wedges still varies. The equipment of demon wedges is affected by tolerance. A character or weapon's total tolerance determines their maximum demon wedges capacity. Generally, more powerful demon wedges consume higher tolerance. So the easiest thing that I can compare this to is going to be the kind of like the ecosystem within Wuwa, how you have the 1 cost echoes, the 3 cost echoes, and the 4 cost echoes. You can technically, you can do 3-3-1-1-1, or like the most common for a lot of the sets is going to be 4-3-3-1. It seems like there's going to be kind of the same idea here. Different demon wedges are going to have a different tolerance level. As you level up your character or level up the weapon or things like that, you are going to unlock a higher tolerance, meaning that you can put in different demon wedges or more demon wedges. Now, moving on to demon wedge tracks and slot tracks. Imperial alchemists have crafted specialized amplification components for different demon wedges, giving them distinct enhancement tracks. Equipping a demon wedge to a slot with a matching track halves its tolerance cost. So there is going to be specific areas that you can slot these demon wedges into. If you slot it into the correct area, you're going to be able to equip a bigger range of demon wedges. Here you have the demon wedge casket, a compendium documenting the effects of various demon wedges. Collecting all of these demon wedges grants special rewards. Additionally, the casket records optimal demon wedge builds for each character. However, if you feel overwhelmed by the variety of demon wedges, consult the casket before making decisions. So this is going to be great. It's going to show you which demon wedges go great with which character and which slots, so on and so forth. It's also going to show all the demon wedges that you have collected so far, as well as giving you rewards based on the amount that you have collected in various intervals. So that sounds great. Moving on to advanced gameplay 2, you have commissions. Now, fox hunters regularly receive various commissions ranging from daily errands to critical combat quests. Quest objectives vary widely, such as eliminating enemy targets, escorting targets, or defending objectives. Rewards differ accordingly, allowing you to choose missions based on your needs. When accepting a commission, you can consume a commission manual to increase the completion rewards by a certain multiplier. And this is what it looks like on screen. Again, I'm not sure on the translations here. Next is going to be impression and impression checks. So in Atlasia, your every word and action influences how locals perceive you. Impressions is divided into 5 dimensions: benefit, morality, wisdom, empathy, and chaos. You can improve these dimensions by making choices during conversations with residents or handling dynamic quests. Sometimes your choices trigger impression checks. Passing these checks unlocks an entire different story path. I love that. I absolutely love that. I hope that is fairly comprehensive within the story and within how your character is perceived within the world. One example that I know of is within like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, to a lesser extent Fallout 4, definitely more. I feel like in Fallout New Vegas especially, you had your karma system. You had good karma, you had bad karma. If you ended up getting enough good karma, you would have certain factions go after you, the bad guys. If you got bad karma, you would have the good factions hunting you down and things like that, and just slightly different interactions. You also couldn't like go into places if you had too bad of a karma, but that would also unlock other places for you to go to. Really love it. I love systems like this. I believe it was also Infamous, the Infamous series, that also had like the 2 paths that you could take, the good karma and the bad karma. I just really like when there is an added layer to your choices within the story and within dialogues that actually make an impact, because a lot of these gacha games that you play, there is no like impact that you specifically, the player, have on the story. Yeah, there's different dialogue options. The character always has like a preset thing that they say no matter what though, and then the characters usually have a preset response. There is some times where the response is tweaked a little bit depending on what you say. However, for majority of cases, that just isn't the case. So I really like this edition. Next up, you're gonna have Luno Eggy's shop. Luno Eggy appreciates individuals with personality. Once your impression attributes reach certain levels, visit the Luno Eggy shop to exchange for rare materials and accessory blueprints. And this is what it's gonna look like. Up next, you have the forge system. Luno Smith is dedicated to meeting every fox hunter's needs. Once the forge system is unlocked, you can commission Luno Smith to craft equipped accessories, demon wedges, and more by consuming materials. So yeah, so there's a entire crafting system here. You can craft everything in the game. That goes along with the no summon thing. You can get weapons from challenges, this, that, and then you can also get weapons from just straight up crafting them. It's going to detail exactly what you need to craft them, and then I'm assuming how you get those things is some of those things may also be craftable, right? So like you put these 3 things together to craft this piece, and then you put that piece along with that piece that also took 3 things to craft into the weapon, and then you also need like this one boss material and like this one open world or instance area material, things like that. So I definitely love that system. You're going to be able to craft weapons, be able to craft whatever you want. Now it does say here, however, forging items takes time. Use toy hammers to speed up the process and obtain finished products quickly. So there is going to be a certain amount of time that it takes to craft these things. Obviously, that's going to be the trade-off. They want you there playing the game for longer and also waiting. Kind of like if you think about Clash of Clans, if you ever played that, right? You upgrade a building or a tower, whatever it may be, there's going to be a timer to it. So that's a little unfortunate, but I feel like that is miles and miles better than having the gacha system and the gacha mechanics. Not as quite instant gratification, but you still get the thing. Now lastly here, forge blueprints. Every item across Atlasia requires different forging materials. If you wish to check the material list for a specific item, consult the blueprint to prepare the necessary resources in advance. So everything that you can craft is going to have a blueprint. Within that blueprint, obviously, it's going to tell you what you need to craft said thing. That way you can go ahead and prepare that. And yeah, that just sounds amazing to me. So that's going to be looking a little different here because I did wait a couple days just to see if they were going to release to this. So coming up next, we have unique systems. Now in this, we're going to have feeding Genimons. Hopefully, I'm just going to call them summons, so that way I don't mess up the pronunciation. Let me know down in the comments how you properly pronounce this if you do know. But summons are creatures that take various forms through Foxian energy. While their true origin remains uncertain, one thing is clear: every experienced fox hunter relies on the diverse abilities of the summons. Encounter wandering summons in the wild and feed them their favorite yum treats to potentially tame them. The quality of yum treats and your timing when feeding affect success rates. To befriend more summons, sharpen your judgment. That's really cool. Summon deployment. Successfully tame summons will accompany you. You can set them as your deployed summon to provide various combat buffs. Okay, so they buff you. Moving on. Summon support. During critical moments in battle, use summon support skills to turn the tide and create new opportunities. After using a support skill, the summon enters a cooldown period and gradually recovers over time. Support skills don't consume your combat resources, so command your summons freely. So it's not going to use the sanity meter at all. This is just going to be on its own separate cooldown. I really like that. That's really cool. Summon training. Summons are divided into active summons and inactive summons. Active summons have trait slots that are gradually unlocked when they're ascended. Summons trait level can be increased via raise. You can also transfer traits between summons via summon training. Inactive summons cannot join battle, but their traits can be learned by other summons through summon training. That's pretty cool. I do like that there's like that whole kind of like pet system that like the more and more that gets revealed about this game that I didn't know about, the more and more excited I get for it. The more and more I'm like, I just want to sit here and just grind this game and make a bunch of content for you guys. Moving over to unique systems 2, we have secret letters. Secret letters can be used to challenge covert missions. There are 3 categories of secret letters based upon rewards: character, weapon, and demon wedge. Unlike regular commissions, covert commissions offer fixed rewards of 6 types, each with specific drop rates. Rewards are classified into bronze, silver, and gold tiers based on drop rates from highest to lowest. The overall probability of gold tier rewards is 10%. So acquiring secret letters, the most common method is to obtain secret letter clues. After completing regular commissions, then exchange them at the shop for your desired secret letters. Alternatively, some secret letters can be acquired through game modes like Nocturnal Echoes and Immersive Theater. I'm assuming those are like the in-game modes. Opening secret letters. Access the Covert Commissions tab under the combat interface. Select the letters you wish to use to challenge currently available covert missions. Commission types rotate randomly over time. Choose commission types that match your strengths. Next, we have secret letter rewards selection. Upon successful completion, 3 random rewards drop for you to choose from. Select one based on your needs. Rewards from character secret letters may yield thoughts. Rewards from weapon secret letters may yield weapon blueprints and components. Rewards from demon wedge secret letters may yield demon wedge blueprints. For example, as shown in the image, you can choose one of 3 rewards: times 10 thoughts, times 2 thoughts, or weapon manual 2 times 1. Once you collect 30 thoughts of a character for the first time, you can obtain that character through reminiscence. Secret letter recycling. What if you have a surplus of secret letters? You can recycle them on the secret letter page, obtain secret letter clues, which can be used to exchange for one other needed secret letter at the shop. So that is going to be how you obtain weapons, upgrade weapons, obtain characters, and all that such. So they did drop some more of Luno's Adventure notes. Now the game is going to release in less than 10 hours from the time of recording this, so hopefully there's no more. If there is, it's not going to be included in the video. I'm sorry, I need to get this video out. I've been trying to get it out for a while. But anyway, coming up with unique systems 3, and the first one here is going to be outfits. Tired of seeing the same old looks on your companions? Why not give them a fresh new style? Manage and switch character and weapon appearances in the outfits page, and then it shows this example right here. This was also shown in the live stream. So next you have Myriad. Outfits can typically be purchased directly from the shop or obtained through Myriad. Beyond Gleaming Outfits, Myriad also offers personality accessories and special emotes. Even if you don't directly obtain your desired Gleaming outfit, you can exchange for it on the Prism Exchange page by consuming rainbow prisms acquired from Myriad. So Myriad, I'm assuming, is going to be the gacha system that the game has, but it's going to be for outfits and not for characters. So as seen right there, you get, or in this image, they got the skin, but otherwise there's just going to be like recolors, dyes, different accessories, emotes, and stuff of that nature. Next is going to be accessories. You have acquire fun or stylish accessories through various methods. While they won't transform your character's appearance as dramatically as Gleaming outfits, they still influence the wearer's aura. Accessory types including face, head, waist, back, and more. Mix and match according to your aesthetic preference to express your unique style. So, and then here in the image, it shows, yeah, different, so you can put on different shoes, you can put on That looks like a mask. You can change the hairstyle, backpack. Looks like belt. Um, Stuff for the face. These others I'm not quite sure. Over here on the left, you have some examples of that for the face. You have some like wings and stuff like that you can put on your head, as well as glasses, some bandages, things like that. Moving on to the last one here, coloring, the one I'm most excited about from the live stream that they showed. Everyone wearing the same outfits, but I want to be the most dazzling fox hunter there is. Why not try the coloring feature? Most weapon appearances and some character outfits support custom coloring. Coloring requires dye items to color specific parts. With different color combinations, you can surely create a color scheme that best showcases your personal style. And then as a note down here, it says want to share a look with your friends, use the share button next to your color scheme to post it in chat channels or generate a color code to share in the community. Similarly, you can import your favorite color schemes with one click to get the same look. And then here's an example right here showing again that same skin from before, but with the recolor, same weapon, but with the recolor as well. This is what I'm most excited for. I know one of my favorite things in Destiny was the shaders and things like that. So I am highly, highly excited for this. Can't wait for this. It is unfortunate how it is going to be their gacha system, but you can't have both. You can't unlock every single character and then also unlock every single shader for free. They got to make money somewhere nowadays. But yeah, I'm quite excited for this. Hopefully there is still a decent amount of either currency or, just shaders and accessories in general that you can get from like events, quests and things of that nature. I'm not assuming that there would be specific areas that you can grind for some. I mean, there might be some that are rewards for grinding, like in-game modes and things like that, or certain achievement milestones and things of that nature. But yeah, anyway, that's going to wrap up all the adventure notes here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it might be a little jarring seeing, I think it's 3 different like settings, and also my camera moves, and like there's just a bunch of stuff. So I'm sorry about that, but they also just kept like drip feeding this content out. But I wanted to make sure I had all of them in one place. I am going to be streaming. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. I am going to be streaming Duet Night Abyss when it comes out at, for me, 10 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to be streaming that for a good few hours into the night and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day.